like that. Sorry about the interruption again. That was my husband with breakfast in bed at 10 o'clock. Finally. But it's for my birthday, but it's sweet of him. Wasn't even burnt this year. Anyway, here's the little antenna twisties. With a thingamajig like this, it's very simple. Just twist them on there and there you go. And these make life so much easier. Let me show you another little twisty machine that I have. It's the bead twister. I don't know what it's called, but this is what it's used for. You take the wire, you put it right in there and hold it in, and then just start twisting. And there you go. There's some twists, but these are all the same size twists. They don't go different sizes like that. I'm just showing you how. We're not going to use this, just demonstration. Oh, and take those out and use this as a background. There's my base. Here are my twisted little antenna. See, I'm going to make one. Oops. Just like this. You want the pretty end at the bottom. You want this up here. You hold the top, start winding it around. And it's a killer on your fingers sometimes, so you might just grab those little pliers and make them do the hard work. And then when you have that little end, it's jutting up there, it's going to poke everybody. Snip it off and let it go the way of the wind until you can find it later on the floor with your bare feet. Here's another one. I'm going to do the same thing. Just line it up, twist it around a couple times. Don't worry about it being pretty at this point. Just trying to get these attached. And this one, yeah, that's about right. No, I don't like all these little pieces. Snip them off. There you have the base. Now we're going to take our big beaded little crystals here. And they're all crystals and sparkly. We love sparkly. Put these on here and start twisting around. You're going to do that with this one and the large one, and notice how I just let it over twist, so that way you get all these little twisties in there and it makes it a lot prettier. And then we'll add that one as well. And that's all there is to that, the scepter. Not exactly alike because I used different beads and I used crystals instead of beads, but you get the idea, and you can use whatever you want. And now we come to the Linda crowns. We are finally doing the tiaras, and these I'm going to name the Linda tiaras because although they're intricate, they are clear and dull and simple. Not like Linda, but she likes simplistic. So I made this one for Linda. It's not my design, actually. It's someone else's design. I don't know who, but I'm going to show you how to make them so you can make them in variations of them. This is the final one, and we're going to go in steps. This one, you take the beads and you have the long strands of the beads. You're going to do a whole lot of just having wire about this long right here, just like this, dipping it into your beads, putting it in the middle, meeting the ends, and just twisting. Your fingers are going to get sore from this because you're going to do a whole bunch of these, tons and tons of them throughout your crown making or tiara making adventures. So I've made, I don't know, maybe 10 of them or less. Anyway, you make them on here, you put them on, and you can put them at different heights so that way you can make it like an upside down V. Like the middle can be taller, and then you can work your way down. You do different levels. You just do tons and tons and tons of them, and you attach them on there. And then what you're going to do to get all these beads down at the bottom here is you're going to take a long thin wire, you're going to attach it to one end, and then you're going to string a bunch of beads on. You just take your cup of beads and start dipping. Alright, well that's good enough. So you're going to make sure you hold it with this hand, and so the beads don't come sliding off. You come down, you take one little bead, put it right there. Hold it with your other hand. Wrap it around the first one, let another little bead down. Hold the little bead on the top or wherever you want it. You go around and you go in between those little spires. There goes another one, another little bead. You come back up and around and between more of those little spires. And you're going to work your way through all these little spires, and don't worry about getting them out of line, because you could fix all that later. And you're going to work your way down to the end, and then you're going to wind it off. You'll do more. You'll do between every single spire. And then you'll come back and you'll start over again. You'll start putting more tiny little beads on and going around. You'll let another little bead down. Go around. I'm just doing this very fast just to show you how to do it. But you'd really take your time and do a thorough job with letting these beads down. And usually I go back and forth maybe 3 times. Get to the end and then go back. And I know the tiaras are all pretty if they're rounded, but it's going to be a lot easier if you work with it when it's totally straight. Doesn't have to be rounded when you're working with it, because it makes it a pain in the butt. So don't do it that way. And the biggest thing with tiaras and crowns is to work in layers. When you see the finished product on all those beautiful ones that they have on the internet, they're layered. They're not just one-dimensional. They're really so many layers of work go into those. And you just, if you have extra, you can just cut that off, and then that's just a very simplistic one, but your basic spike with the beads around the bottom. And now I'm going to show you how to do these little loopies down here. Take the extra wire here, just chop it off. I have a pre-cut wire. Doesn't matter how long, I mean it does, maybe 1.5 feet. And you take the end, leave about inch and a half, start wrapping it. Wrap it around the end. Oh, I could have wrapped it in the middle, but just wind it through until you get where you want. Then you put beads on it. And I always like to put odd numbers. So the top one, the top layer, we're going to do 5, and you can do the small one first. So put 5 beads on. 4 and 5. 5 beads. Hopefully you can see this very well on the camera. Okay, this looks like the front. Take that, you kind of bend it, look where you want it. Hold the beads with your left hand and go around. And those spires are getting squished down, so we don't really want that. I'm going to go to the back now. I'm going to have the wire going towards the back, because I'm going to put beads on, and then I'm going to come back over right underneath that one. So you're at the end. You have your same wire if you did it long enough, and we're going to put on about 9 beads maybe.